exciting project for the Rex today. Some mirrors from Carolina Metal Masters. Now what I found is when I run with the doors off, I have to rubberneck, turn around really hard to see who's behind me before I change lanes. So I wanted to find an easy solution that worked well without trail doors, and probably the most aesthetic version I found was these mirrors from Carolina Metal Masters. I'm just going to take some stuff out of the box and kind of show you guys as we go. But the product is really well made. They're headquartered out of Tennessee, I believe, and they're anodized steel brackets mount into anodized steel mounts. And it's very solid. You don't have to worry about a lot of wind resistance when you're going down the street. You can either hold at a high profile on your grab bar or a low profile, and you can fully adjust the angle of the bar as well as the cant of the mirror to give you that perfect angle. So let's take the stuff out of the box and I'll show you guys what we got going on. The packaging that CMM sends their stuff in is amazing. It's very tightly wrapped, bubble wrap, and sealed. I did go ahead and cheat and open these up so I can kind of see what we were working with today, but I left some of these other ones packaged up. This is, not only was it fully sealed in a really good bubble wrap, but it come packed with paper. The box is solid as can be when it came in, and it just really helps to protect your investment. These mirrors were on sale when I bought them for $250. I think marked down from $299. But you can use the discount codes that CMM sends out in your email. I was given a 10% discount code PV10, and later received an email for a PV15 discount code, which gave me 15% off my order. So I did purchase a second item that we're going to go over in another video, but I wanted to show you guys what comes with your CMM standard kit. So you have both of your rails, which are going to mount onto your grab bars attachments. Let's see. You have two locking bolts, I guess you could call them, or nuts, to attach to this. This is going to be your grab bar adjustment piece. You have a second, of course, because you have two mirrors, so you're going to have a second piece that's packaged up real tight right there. Now what makes it cool is, of course, like any merch, you wind up getting a sticker with your order, and what they do now is they send you another discount code, as well as your instructions come online, so you can actually log onto their website and watch a video on how to install these. And that's the kit for what we're going to install today. I haven't test installed anything, so we're going to do this together first run and see how we can do it. Looks pretty straightforward, so let's get to it. Now the tooling for this install is very simple. You got two Allen wrenches you're going to use, a 5 and an 8, so you're going to want to make sure that you have either both of them, or like me, I have trusty Rusty here, that comes with both of them installed. I brought an extension just in case I need to get a little deeper into this socket, and a socket wrench and a 10mm socket itself. So obviously I'm not a full-time mechanic because I have a 10mm socket readily available, but yeah, tooling is very easy. You also want a trim removal tool or a flathead screwdriver to get in and remove this top plastic cap right here. Now the first thing we're going to do in this is remove this plastic trim piece right here. It looks like it's going to come off pretty easy. I'm just using a kid's screwdriver, something small. You can use a tool removal piece, a trim tool removal piece, but it's really not necessary. This thing is super easy to come out. It's attached on the inside by this little cable, but if you pull it good enough, it's going to come right out. Now inside of here, I don't know if you guys can see from this angle, but there is a 10mm bolt that actually holds this whole piece onto the side of the JL. We're going to use the extension that I brought earlier and the 10mm socket to remove this bolt. Now, pretty easy to get to once you have that extension in there, so I'll just remove that. Alright, come on, bolt. There we go. I always hold on to my stock pieces just in case I ever need to send something back or I need to replace it with original factory parts for any reason. So you guys, my suggestion would be just throw these in your toolbox maybe make a drawer specific for your Jeep stuff, and put them in a little Ziploc bag and label it. Next, we're going to install the bracket piece for this side. Now, CMM, Carolina Metal Masters, instruction manual says to find the piece that has the red dot to install on the driver's side, but I don't see a red dot. Now, maybe it's because I haven't taken this ball off, but this is going to be step one of inserting this piece, is to take off the ball that comes with that. And you'll see inside you have the 5mm Allen wrench screw that you're going to need to drill or drive into the cavity here. So the best way, without seeing the red dot that they talk about, and it could be because it's anodized, is to look at how it's going to mount. Now, CMM puts their logo on the front, so you know that logos should always face up. With that, you want to make sure that the deep socket hole is facing outward. So whether you're installing the driver's side or the passenger side, you want to make sure that this deep socket is facing outward, because your pole is going to mount into there and your mirrors are going to come out to the side at that angle. So we will insert this into the cavity. You'll see that the little nipple here is going to go right into that same hole where the previous attachment for the OEM cover was. Get a hold of trusty Rusty here and start just putting in the Allen wrench into that socket. All right, seems to be securing all right. Just want to make sure it sets right for when you tighten it down. Everything should fit in there snug. Piece shouldn't wiggle or move up or down. Tells me I need to go in a little further. And I'm just going to keep setting it until it is right up in there. So our next step, we're going to put this phone ball back on, and this is going to allow us to attach anything from a GoPro to a cell phone. I don't necessarily think I would like to attach a tablet up here, just because I don't like my view obstructed, especially when I'm off-road and I'm trying to articulate around some things. But I'm definitely planning on using this, as well as the other ball attachment that comes on the rail that you're going to see in a minute, for some GoPro footage. You can mount a front-facing GoPro here, a forward-facing GoPro there. I have other mounts, like this bulletproof mounting system that I use for my cell phone. I can mount a GoPro to see a straight shot from directly over the middle of the hood. So it's really cool for when you're building videos to do that. So our bracket is fully installed on the driver's side of the vehicle. Now we're going to go ahead and put on our mirrors and our rails mounted. So you have the rail, which is going to mount the mirror into the bracket, and the mirror is going to mount onto the end. This rail comes with one of those 1-inch balls that I described that you can use for your GoPro mounting, which is really cool for off-road trail usage, riding down the street, cruising, whatever you want to record. It gives you an ability to hook up a really good GoPro to it and get some good footage. You're going to have the mirror itself, the attachment bracket that's going to screw in to hold it onto your bracket, and you're going to have the Allen key bolt that's going to mount into there. Now with this, you're going to want to take this Allen key bolt and put it into the deep side socket of this rail. You'll see there's a deep side, there's a shallow side. Putting it into the deep side socket is going to not only recess that so that it looks really clean, but it's also going to give you more articulation for your mirror, because we're just going to mount it in a neutral position right now with the mirror facing this direction, and we're just going to screw that in like normal. Now to tighten it fully up, you're going to want to use the 8mm Allen key, or you can just simply spin this around till you get it adjusted where you need it to. In the meantime, you always want to make sure you tighten it down before you go riding down the street though. Now we'll move on to the final step of mounting these mirrors onto the new bracket that we just put in. We're in the home stretch. We've got our bracket mounted, we have our mirror assembled, and the last part of the process is definitely the easiest one. We're just going to insert our mirror into this area right here where it had the recessed hole, and attach it to the assembly with this nut that they've included. And from there, you can tighten as needed to adjust your mirrors. And then we'll give everything a final adjustment with our Allen key and check our mirrors once we get in. Now it looks like the Allen key back here that they have listed, you're going to use a 5 and an 8, but it looks like this one on the back side of the mirror is actually going to be a 6 fits in there just perfect. So now let's do the same thing to the other side and see how it turns out. That's simple, and we're done. Estimated work time for this is going to be about 20 minutes. If you have all your proper tools, you've watched the instructions or read the instructions, and you figured out how to do this on your own, it's going to take you about 20 minutes total to get it done. So now keep in mind, these are a summertime mirror. These are going to be used when your doors are not on. You cannot operate these mirrors with factory doors. You can use them with trail doors that are half or smaller, and you shouldn't have any problem. But if you put your factory doors on without taking your mirrors off, and you try to close it, you're going to bust your window out. These are designed specifically for doorless vehicles. So, in order to do so, it's a quick uninstallation. You're going to take your locking nut off, comes off super easy, and remove your mirror. That simple. My suggestion is you put your nut back on, keep a storage bag or a container in the back of your rig, or if you have somewhere that you hang up or store your summertime stuff when you're not using it, do so. Hang these up. Protect the glass. You don't want to damage the mirror portion of it. But once it's removed, you've got full clearance, just as if you were OEM. You can put your stock doors back on, close them, and then of course you have your mirrors that are installed on those doors. Is the 1-inch cell phone ball mount. Carolina Metal Master.